You're listening to After the Review.
After the review.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are here for week 14 of Backyard Bookies. I am your host, Peter. Joining me, as always, is my man, Scott. Scott, had a hot week, and hopefully it's keeping you warm in that cold, wintry wonderland you got out there.
About 4 inches of snow out here. We're the Backyard Bookies, so might as well keep it on brand here. Not the backyard we want to be in usually. We usually want to be a nice sunny pool. Sunny 90 degrees, and taking off the clothes and going to the pool and having a good day. But come out here. It's a nice little first snow in Utah, so figured out come out here and freeze my ass off and pick some games. So. Back on last week. Really well last week. So
he called his shot. The babe called his shot, and it paid off massive for him. Let's break it down for you guys. Scott up 228 from last week, bringing his grand total to 17-14. Absolutely crushing it this year. Lock of the week, Bama on the money line, and his upset just paid off huge for him. Hit those bad boys, and the tide was rolling for him in kind of a shocker, honestly. Just an absolute shocker. Just the way they won. Not necessarily that they won, just absolutely hung 40 on the best defense in the country. No problems.
Never doubt Nick Saban. That's I think that's the new what we learned from this game. Moral of the story. I'm
giving more credit to the offensive line to anything. Don't know how you give up 7 sacks the week before and then absolutely give up nothing to the best D-line in the country. But you hit that. Also hit the under 71.5 in the Pitt Wake Forest game. The Pitt defense was almost too good for you in that game, running back a pick six very early in the fourth quarter.
That one did get scary at the end. They scored, I think, Pitt scored, and then like a few plays later they had that pick six, I think, and I'm like, oh god, this is gonna happen.
They had
in the last 6 or 7 minutes of the game, they just ran the ball to run the timeout. So I was happy that ended up being good, but it was a little scary at the end of that fourth quarter. But glad that came through.
I was watching. Obviously, they had basically a pick six, right back to the 2-yard line. They punched it in for the touchdown to put the game out of reach, and then they got the pick six like 2 plays later. So very scary. Missed Okie State minus 5.5. Cowboys were not interested in making the college football playoff. Interesting. Oregon +3 you missed. Got absolutely walloped again by Utah, but you were not upset about that one, as you said.
I think I may have overthought that one a little bit. I figured that Oregon would come out and actually play well and stop the run. They kind of did stop the run, but there were still those fluky plays that happened, and
offense
turned out to be almost the exact same score as the first time they played. So I just overthought it, and that's what happens sometimes. So it's all good.
And then Seth Curry, the younger brother, hit over 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So 4-2 week, good week. 9-3-1 on the season on lock. So even better if people are just betting those locks, which I highly recommend. All right, let's go to me. $57 on the week, another winning week for us in total, bringing my grand total to $10.97. It's all right, you're the professional on this show. I'm here for comedic foil. 9-4 on locks, so very strong on locks, both of us. That's what you love to see. Pitt -3, my lock. It was a little close for a bit, but Pitt's defense really stepped up. I was a little nervous for you and me when Pitt's defense gave up 3 touchdowns on the first 3 drives, and it was 21-14.
Yeah.
It's like nobody's getting.
There was 35 points in that first quarter. I'm like, okay, this is chalked. This is going to be easy over, but
nope. Both these turned it on. Kenny Pickett over there with the nasty fake slide touchdown. Oh god, disgusting. Let's get rid of that. I had the big boy Curry and the Golden State Warriors -7 covered easy against Phoenix. That was pretty comfortable game. I didn't really worry about that game. Then I had some troubles there. Cougars with the upset. That game really got out of hand in the third quarter. It was a 14-13 game at halftime. I was feeling really good about it, at least to have a shot. And then third quarter got out of hand from Houston, and Cincinnati took care of business. Miss Okie State, just like you. Under Bama, 49.5 against Georgia. I think Bama scored 49 points or some shit like that. So did not help. The defense did not bail me out. Oh well. And then the parlay, I technically hit this, but I should have been less specific with my bet. Kirk over 1.5 touchdowns. Joe Burrow's over 1.5 touchdowns, but they had to be passing. Joe Burrow's ran in one. They had 2 touchdowns. I was feeling it right. All right, so let's get into this week 14. What's your first bet for a scoot?
Well, as you know, I'm a college football guy. This is a tough week for me. Only one college football game, then we got our bowl season coming up. So I had to go to my weaker spot. We're picking NFL. First game I'm going to pick is the Detroit Lions and the Denver Broncos. Detroit coming off finally getting their first win.
I don't want to talk about it.
Against your really, really good football team up there in Minnesota. They're playing the Denver Broncos, who, honestly, I don't really think that Teddy Bridgewater is really the man in Denver. He's played marginal.
Was horrible.
I think he's pretty much played marginal at best his whole career.
Bad against Kansas City. They ran all over. They had a shot to be in that game if they had good quarterback play.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, his arm is weak. His decision making is pretty much robotic. He can't run anymore. He used to be able to run decently at Louisville, and coming in his first couple of years, he's not great. The only thing I'm really worried about, I'm gonna pick the Detroit Lions plus 10 because I think they're a tough football team. They go out there and play for the head coach every week. Dan Campbell the guy's trying, former Aggie, really trying out there to get his team to keep punching through this long season, and I think he's doing a good job. Their team is, I don't think their team is even the worst team in football.
No
I think
chance.
I could probably say the Jets and the Texans are also probably worse than the
Jaguars, definitely.
Lions.
But yeah, Lions
Jaguars as well.
I think Lions lost 4 games on the last play of the game, literally, this season. So they're probably a 3-4 win team. Even if you get half those breaks, you should have won some of those games, They just had some bad luck, and then they finally got the one. But easily could have been 5 games on the last play of the game they lost.
Yeah. Really, my only worry is if Javonte Williams comes out and does the same thing he did last week. If they give him the ball 25 times, runs for 120 or something crazy like that, they could easily win the game. But like I said, I think Detroit is not a good team, but they're probably the best of the bad teams, honestly. Their record isn't showing it, but I think they could probably even win this game. But I'm going to take the 10 points. Like I said, NFL is not my thing, but so I'm gonna bet a little lower this week. I'll go 22 to 120 on. Actually, you know what? I'll go 33 to 130 on this one. I feel a little better about this one than the other ones, but Denver just doesn't impress me. Detroit, they're tough. They try really hard. No, they aren't winning. It's not going on the record, but I think they can easily cover 10 points.
Love this pick. Absolutely love this pick. Put a pin on it. I got more to say about this a little bit later, but absolutely love that pick. Well, I am going to stick to the one college football game this week for my first pick. Probably the best tradition every year, I would say, realistically, for America. If you ever feel bad about the way things are going in this country, you should tune in on Saturday. It's Army-Navy. It's always a great game. The atmosphere, the pageantry, it's great. And you know what? Navy's been down this year. They're 3-8 on the season. Army, on the other hand, 8-3. Army's been strong last year. They went through a real long stretch there. They lost 15 in a row in this series from 2002 to 2013, 14, whatever it was. They just couldn't catch a damn break, those poor Army Black Knights. But they've won 4 out of 5 last few years. The only loss was to a ranked Navy team. They got housed. Won 10-0 last year. Line's a little big, though. Army has not blown these games out. I got this. It's up to 8. I got this at 7.5. It's not going to make much of a difference here. I'm going with the Black Knights on this one. I think Navy has a very down football team. Army's actually played very well this season. Actually housed Liberty 2 weeks ago, which is at Liberty. Liberty's a good school, and they absolutely housed them 31-16. Blowing out bad teams. Army needs this. They got some pent-up rage. They've been taking a beating. They're trying to take control of this series. And Navy's down. They have not had a strong season. Obviously, Navy is normally a decent team, but just not done it for themselves lately. So I am going to take Army in this one. I think Like I said, pent-up rage from that 15-year drought. They've won 4 out of 5. This should be 6, so 2 in a row. Yeah, I'm going with Army 22 to win 20 here. It's a little big to put a lot of money on this. If this was under a touchdown, this probably would be my lock of the week for them to cover this. But over the touchdown, it's a little hesitant there. So I'm going to go 22 to win 20 with the Army.
Well, I'll have more to say about that game as well. That may or may not be my my last game I pick. But stay in the NFL. We'll get back to that game here in a little bit. Stay in the NFL. This probably should be my lock of the week. Was one of the locks. I picked him, I think, like week 2 or 3, Monday Night Football. We have Aaron Rodgers.
A-Rod.
Have Sheriff Aaron jumping on the saddle and playing his the team that he owns.
Literally.
Chicago Bears. 12 points, big spread. Very big spread. It's going to be Sunday Night Football. Man, they're at Lambeau. Justin Fields maybe starting that game.
He's starting. Announced. He is starting. Justin Fields starting.
I don't really care who starts that game. It could be if it was Andy Dalton, I wouldn't change my mind one bit. Bears are bad. They're not going to beat Aaron Rodgers. They're not going to get even close to Aaron Rodgers. The dude owns them. This is probably a little bit of a sucker pick just because it's 12 points, but just because I believe in the guy. I believe in the COVID cowboy, Aaron Rodgers. Minus 12. We're gonna go 22 to win 20 on this one just because NFL is not my thing, and kind of enjoy the game on Saturday. But love Aaron Rodgers. Love what he does. Love listening to him on Pat McAfee every Tuesday. He's got incredible things to say if anybody wants to watch that show every Tuesday. It's very interesting. He's kind of a crazy person.
Definitely.
Literally a psychopath. The guy remembers everything. He said this week they were talking about passing attempts with Mac Jones, and they asked him what was the lowest passing attempt he's had in a game. And he said, "Well, I think my first game, my debut game, I threw the ball 22 times." I'm like, how do you remember that? How is that something you remember? He's a psychopath. He's a crazy person. The crazy person that's going to kick the shit out of the Bears. Minus 12, 22 to 120. I think this one's pretty easy, but it's just tough to bet against Aaron Rodgers. Really, whatever spread it is, really.
Easy pick. Love it. I also am on this game right here. 12 points, a lot of points. Packers coming off a bye. Getting a little healthy, getting very healthy actually, getting both his tackles back to help protect him, getting Jazier Alexander back in the secondary. Packers defense has been pretty strong so far. They had a good stretch there. Not great against Minnesota, but that happens sometimes against division rivals and when you play better people on offense. So Bears do not have a wide receiver like Justin Jefferson, so that secondary should be able to shut down. The Bears can't get the ball to Allen Robinson. It's the worst offense in the league. Packers are the exact opposite of the worst offense of the league. Game's in Lambeau, big-time stage. He owns the Bears, as you said. Love this game. Aaron Rodgers. I got 22 to win 20 as well. 12 points, not nearly enough, I think. This has got 17 points. It is a division game, a little worrisome, but the Bears' offense is so pathetic. It's so bad, even with Justin Fields. Justin Fields hasn't looked great from playing. He can run a little bit, but his passing overall as a whole isn't anything that I'm blown away by. So, yeah, totally on this pick with you as well. Aaron Rodgers, no COVID toe, broken toe, don't matter. 12 points, no problem here for the Packers.
I think it's a pretty easy pick. Even if you get it wrong, you're like, I'm not picking the Bears anyway. So,
no,
you're not going to feel bad picking Aaron Rodgers minus 12.
I'm a little mad that I didn't pick as many NFL games last week because I'm in a bet spread league. I told you, and I got 10 out of 15 right last week against the spread, and I did not win the $100 prize for the money. But that's neither here nor there. But I had a good read last week in the NFL. So, all right, what's your next game?
So for this third game, you're going to be disappointed with me, Pete. I'm giving you a lot of shit about picking this team.
All right. You're taking the Chiefs. I got it. I'm already on.
Las Vegas Raiders and Kansas City Chiefs. I feel horrible doing this, but Chiefs last 3 games covering spreads. They've won at least 5 in a row. I can't tell how many they've won, but I think it's 5 in a row at least. But
probably.
It says the last 5. I'm not looking at the rest of the schedule, but they've covered 8.5. They've covered 2.5. They covered 3. Pretty easy on all of them, except for maybe last week against Denver, which is kind of a slow game. I think Denver in the second quarter they ran the ball and chewed up about 13 minutes of that second quarter, so they didn't really get to do much and couldn't really be very dynamic with their weapons. So that's the only reason they only scored 22. Las Vegas is not that kind of team. They're a kind of team that's going to be throwing the ball all the time. Derek Carr is second leading passer in passing yards in the NFL right now. Weirdly enough, very weird that he can dunk Derek.
Even with his tight end's dead, his receivers in jail, he just dumping it to Hunter Renfrow and chunking up yards over here.
It's no one probably saw that coming with him
did.
Actually.
I believe I made that call
second leading receiver
in our fantasy
passer.
in our fantasy draft. Revitalized year for Derek Carr. I called this. He was going to have a year. I was feeling good.
This is going to be a completely different game. I even like the over in this one. I think it's in the 48. I like the over in this one as well. I think it'll be like a 28 to 28-21, 28-24, maybe 35-21, something like that. I think Kansas City is not going to be. They're not going to be slow as they were last week. Las Vegas doesn't run the ball anything like Javonte Williams and the boys in Denver, and that was their whole game plan to begin with. So. I think it's pretty easy. I got them 9.5. I will take those points and swallow them. Unfortunately, 22 to 120 on this one. I think they can win pretty handily. Probably won't be a 20. Hopefully, it's not a 28-24 game. I think I was talking about the over/under, but I think it should be like a 35 to 21 kind of game, and they'll cover that. I think they'll cover that 9.5 pretty easily.
Okay. All right. Let me go. Sticking to the league. Jags at the Titans. I got coming for you. I'm going to stay on brand with this show, and I'm going to go with an under here. Under 44. Titans coming off a bye. Really struggled the last few weeks without the Derrick Henry running game. Teams have been forcing Tannehill to throw the ball, so I'm thinking the Titans are going to have this thing figured out. But their last 4 games will go with 28 points, 23 points, 13 points, 13 points. That's not a lot of points here. The Jags' last 5 games, 9 points, 17 points, 10 points, 14 points, 7 points. Jags are the worst team in the NFL. Very embarrassing. Urban Meyer is kind of failing completely as an NFL head coach. The offense is bad. They're not getting the ball to Robinson, their running back, making Trevor Lawrence try and do too much as a rookie quarterback. So I am going to stay on brand here. I love the Titans to win this game. It's 9 points. They should cover this game, but I'm loving the under here. Neither team scores that many points, especially lately with the Titans. They're going to have to throw the ball. I think they're going to try and establish this run game back to get just get things going here, maybe chew up some clock. And the Jags defense has been solid the last few weeks. Got torched by the Rams, but strong against the Falcons, okay against the Niners, good against the Colts, great against the Bills. But they just don't score points. They're really struggling to score points. I mean, they're not covering totals at all here. Under 47.5, under 46, under 45, under 48, under 48.5. So really not getting there. Titans the same. Barely hit the over 43, under 45.5, barely over 42, under 53, over 51 against Indy, but that was 5 games ago. So I love the under here, on brand with this show, going under 44. I'm actually going to change this. I'm going to go 33 to 130 on this game. I'm feeling very comfortable with this game. Unless the Jags offense somehow gets blessed by the gods or something and they find a way to move the ball. They can't move the ball. The Titans are going to go back to this run game. They got to get it established. Titans are still totally going to win that division. They need to be ready for the playoffs. And I heard the King might be on the sideline making an appearance to give them a little pep in their step out there. And the defense is getting healthier, by the way. Titans defense is getting healthier. They have been very banged up, so that should help things tremendously for the Titans.
I was last week. I was pretty close to picking. I think the Jaguars Rams under. The Jaguars aren't going to score. I mean, I even picked Trevor Lawrence not to throw any touchdowns 1 week. So It's like, I think that's going to be a trend the rest of the year. They're not going to score any points. I think the under with time picking the Jaguars nowadays is going to be pretty good.
Very strong.
It's going to be a very, very strong pick. Do you want to go prop or want to go dog?
Let's go prop. Let's go spice it up. Then we'll go dog and lock.
So I'm gonna go back to my roots here. I'm gonna do the a little parlay. It's not gonna be an NFL parlay. We're gonna go back to the NBA, but we go two-team parlay. We got Trae Young. I don't know who's playing. I didn't see who's playing.
They're playing Brooklyn. They're playing Brooklyn on
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn Friday night.
So this one, I didn't realize they were playing Brooklyn, but I'm gonna stay with it because they don't play defense in Brooklyn.
Durant's out also, I believe.
Well, he don't play defense anyway.
He's a long guy.
He's a big dude. He's a long, slender man. But I got Trae Young under 41.5 points, rebounds, assists. I can see him putting up 20 and then getting 2 rebounds, maybe 8 assists. So I don't think he's going to get quite that high. The same with my second pick, Giannis under 43.5. He's actually not been very prolific in his scoring the last few games. So you could easily get even 30 and 10 with 2 assists. He'll still be under that mark. But I think the last couple of games he's been, I think he had 15 in one game and then going back like 23, maybe 21 in there. So he's letting his people do his dirty work for him. Chris Middleton and those boys doing the dirty work, and Drew Holiday. So I think it's a pretty good lock there. I'm gonna go. So the parlay is gonna be minus 125 and minus 120. That'll parlay to plus 230. We'll do 20 to win 46 on that one. These ones are kind of scary because even last week with Seth Curry, he was benched for a lot of that third quarter, and I think he was 3 points, rebounds, and assists away from getting it done. And then they finally put him in with 5 minutes left in the fourth, and I was like, oh my God, please do something here.
He was having that kind of. I felt good for you because I think he was on the bench with like 16 points or 17 points. I'm like, okay, he's making a shot. I'm feeling good here. This is amazing. We do not talk beforehand. We have the two same games for the NBA parlay. I'm also going NBA parlay here. Like you said, Giannis a little banged up. Hasn't been prolific. Chris Middleton's been carrying the weight for them. Chris Middleton, I'm going to go over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists for the Bucks. Those are all his averages for the season. Points, rebounds, and assists are all over 27.5. There puts him at about 29. So he's been carrying the load. They're playing Houston. Houston's won 7 in a row without their star, Jalen Green. So maybe Jalen Green's just bad for the basketball team because they were 1-16 or whatever with him. But they're on a hot streak. Game's in Houston. Expect a high-scoring game. None of these young teams play any defense. Going to get a lot of points here. Like you said, yeah, Giannis slow. Love what Chris Middleton does. Aggie Nation, stand up. We do have a hooper. So that's going to be my first one at minus 120. And I'm going to go take Trae Young as well. This is amazing. We don't plan this at all. Great minds, Scott. Great minds here. I know you got the under on him, but I got an over on him. 2.5 3-pointers made. He's only got to make 3 threes. Trae Young has been known to make them from the logo, just for shits and gigs. And like you said, Brooklyn
he'll put up like 8 or 9 of them a game. So
yeah,
you have plenty of ample opportunity to make those
at home. Brooklyn plays negative defense. James Harden on him. I mean, that's my only worry is James Harden's going to let him just go to the basket every time. So, little tough move there. He might just be going to the cup. But, you pull up when the defense sags off. Harden might sag off. Durant is out, I believe, for this game, which helps me even less defense for the Brooklyn Nets. Him and Aldridge are out, so I expect Trae Young to get this easy. Hawks need a win. Lost a tight game to Philly the other day. They're sitting at 13-12. Not great in the East. Brooklyn's at 17-8. Off day for them. So I like this parlay at minus 130. So this is going to bring it to 224. I'm going to go 20 to win 39.5 or whatever. It's basically $40 with Chris Middleton over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and Trae Young over 2.5 3-pointers made. All right, time for the dogs. Who's your dog?
So some of the listeners of this podcast are not going to be happy with this pick. I can name a few of them, but Sunday morning, Alice on the football team, duking it out.
Big game.
There really wasn't any good NFL games. I really thought that there'd be a big upset. I think it's mostly lopsided games. They're a bunch of plus 10s, plus 12.5. There's like an 8.5.
There's a good game tonight.
These are a bunch of
tonight.
lopsided games.
That's it. 3.5. That was a tasty line right there tonight. But
So I decided to pick. I think the football team is kind of tough, just like the Lions. Taylor Heineke's kind of a gritty player. He doesn't do a lot, but he's there for his team and he's tough. So
wins games.
And the Dallas defense hasn't been playing nearly as well as they have at the beginning of the season. Trayvon Diggs is kind of tapered off. Micah Parsons, unfortunately, is an animal.
We knew that, though. He's a crazy person.
Yeah, we all kind of knew that, but I love that pick coming out of college.
Yeah, he was just a bully. That was his only knock. He was just a mean person, but maybe you need to be a mean person to play defense.
Yeah. Dak hasn't been playing very well. Very well could. Mostly picking this game because there really isn't any other really good NFL games out there, and there's a lot of NBA lines that aren't out for Friday. So if we were taping, tomorrow morning or something, there'd be some better lines for the NBA. But this game just seems like it could happen. It's Dallas is -4.5. They're playing in Washington. It all kind of just lines up. This is a big game for Washington too because they're trying to make the playoffs. They're 6-6. They could easily make the playoffs. They're in the hunt right now. I think they might be the 7 or 8 seed.
They're right there. It's all jumbled up with the Niners, Eagles, and football team.
So they could easily win this game. I got the football team +175. I will drizzle I'll put 20 on there.
Oh, a little spicy.
20 and that's around like $36 or something like that. I'll have to do the math here, but I'll do 20 to win whatever it ends up being. Football team could easily get done, so we'll see what happens.
All right. Like you said, a lot of big lines in the NFL this week, and I think one line is a little too big. You talked about it earlier. Very good. This team plays good football every week usually, very rarely getting blown out, and that's the Detroit Lions. They got to win. They got some momentum, I think. You got the monkey off your back. Easily could be a total letdown that they lose this game. But I like this game. I'm getting great numbers here. +315 for the Lions. Coming off a win. They have a tie on the season. They've played pretty good football, down the stretch here. They're not really getting blown out by anybody, like I said. I mean, lost to the Bears in the last drive of the game. Lost to the Browns on, the last drive of the game. Tied the Steelers. So the last 4, and then won last week. So the last 4 games, they've been right in them. Tie, win, and then a loss by 2, loss by 3. So this is it. This is all for the taking. Like you said, the Broncos' offense hasn't been very good. Defense is pretty much carrying this team. And the Lions got a pretty good run defense. Watched it myself. Stopped the run very well. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, gritty, ugly. We got kickers kicking in Denver, so that's going to be the big deal there. Got a rookie kicker in Detroit. It's the only thing I'm a little hesitant about. But I'm going to go with the Lions here. 10 to win. 31.5 here at +315 because I don't want to be stupid and lose all my money betting on the Lions. But I feel comfortable with them as an upset here. This is a good spot for them. And the Lions are officially going to be on what we call a winning streak after this weekend. Okay, so that's going to leave it to our locks of the week.
Oh, yeah! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
What do you got for us?
Lock of the week. So, like you said earlier, there's a one football game going on. There's really nothing more American. There's baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Army Navy. That's the most American game we can ask for. There's also nothing more American than betting the under in this game.
Facts.
I've been looking at this line. It keeps dropping. I actually looked at it today. It was 36.5 earlier today. It's gone down to 35, so nobody's betting the over in this one, as they should, because I think the last 4 times they played, maybe the last 5 times they played, at least the last 4 times they played, under.
It was 10-0 last year. I think it was 31-7 the year before, and then 13-10.
Got 15-0, 31-7, 17-10, 14-13, 21-17. That's probably an under as well. It doesn't say on here, but I mean, it's one of those games just like when we're picking the Packers and Bears. Like, if you pick the over in this game, I mean, you're kind of dumb at that point. I mean, I won't feel bad to hit the over, but at least the last 4 times it's been the under. There's going to be all kinds of running in this game, as we all know, as we watch it. There might be a total of 5 balls thrown. Clock is going to be milked. There's going to be punts all over the place. It's going to be a little rugby game the entire game. 36.5 seems like, I mean, it's not much, but I think it's enough. I think it's plenty. It could be like another, you could 20-10 and still cover that. So
very easy.
I mean, that's 7 touchdowns in the game. I don't see that happening. So I'm taking the under. I got it at 36.5. I'm sticking at 36.5. 35 is getting a little
Scared.
A little too low for me.
Sketch.
But we're gonna stay at 36.5. Under to win 91. I think you're a fool if you don't take the under on this one. If I'm wrong, so be it. But I mean,
you're right.
The All-American game is an under
now,
game.
That's
always how it's been.
Army has slightly moved away from this triple option game that these two teams are known for. The real bet in this game, over under 20 passing attempts. I think that's the real bet in this game because I don't know, man. I know Navy ran the ball like 40 times and didn't throw a single pass or some shit like that the other day, like 2 weeks ago or something.
I mean, you can look at the Buffalo New England game. That game was 14-10, and I mean there was a total of 33 passes in that game. So,
and that's only because Buffalo can't run.
Was one per, yeah, and 30 of them was for one person. So that's a 14-10 game. This could easily be the same thing. So I think it's pretty much
the conditions might be a little different. Might be a little extenuating conditions in that Buffalo New England game, but I get what you're saying. All right. I'm going to go to the league here, the NFL Football League. Monday night game, Rams at the Cardinals. Cardinals finally back to being healthy. Kyler was back last week. Hop was back last week. Took care of the Bears pretty easily in Chicago. They're back at home now. And Chase Edmonds has been cleared for practice off of the IR, so expecting him back this week. Add back to the two-headed monster in the backfield with him and Connor. And the Rams are the Rams. You know, Matt Stafford is who we thought we were. We got a lot of people out there. Matt Stafford's a Hall of Famer. He just played in Detroit. Matt Stafford's 0-4 against teams with a winning record this year on the Rams, and that's on him. They've been bad against winning teams, and he beats up on bad teams. It's not like the Rams are untalented here. He's got good talent. Cooper Kupp's a machine out there on offense. They have a good run game. Defense is very, very strong. He's played bad. I know this because I watch him, and I talk shit about him. Good against bad teams, was always good against bad teams in Detroit. He's bad in prime time, and they said, well, it's just Detroit. How many prime games do they play? Well, he's played 2 primetime games this year with the Rams. He's 0-2 with them against the Packers and the Niners. And got the Cardinals here on Monday night, big stage. I don't see him showing up again. Even if he does show up, line's not that big. It's only 2 points here for the Cardinals. This is nothing. I could sprinkle in a little cheddar all over this. Kyler's always big in the primetime spots. He's been great. He's healthy. Ankle looked good last week. Hopkins is back. Ramsey Hopkins going to be a good matchup fun. But Ramsey hasn't been sharp this year. He's getting beat a little bit in a few games against some big people. Struggled a bit against the Packers. And the Cardinals got a good running attack, especially with Kyler Murray in the fold and hopefully Chase Edmonds trending towards being back. And the Rams haven't been great stopping the run either. Got absolutely gashed by the Niners. So they're kind of all sorts of dysfunction, especially if the offense can't move the ball and score points. On the road, tough spot for the Rams here. I like the Cardinals to win this game. Pretty much put their vice grips on the division. They did already play earlier in the season, I do believe, and the Cardinals won that game in LA already as well. So already trending in the right direction for the Cardinals. Cliff Kingsbury was very much a doubter of him before the season started. He's done a great job with this team. They've been banged up. They're still winning football games. They lost one game without Kyler Murray, essentially. And that's all you can ask for from his team. Yeah, they beat the Rams by 17 in LA earlier in the season. Tough to beat a team twice in the division, but they're not going to let this one slide. And Matt Stafford's going to fold under the pressure. And when we finally start having the talks that Matt Stafford is worse than Kirk Cousins in a primetime game, because I know the numbers are worse, but nobody talks about this thing. You know what it is? This is a myth. It's fake news about Kirk Cousins. Matt Stafford, on the other hand, bad in primetime games, plays bad, doesn't do well. So I'm sticking with the Cardinals for my lock here, -2 points. Should be a cover here. Don't let me down, Arizona. You let me down the one time, but I believe in Kyler. They're good stuff. Aaron Donald fast. I don't know if he Kyler fast to catch that man. Always gives them a problem. So yeah. All right. You want to give us a rundown of your pick, Scoot?
Do that.
All right.
We got Detroit plus 10 at Denver. I don't feel like Denver is a very good football team. Detroit's a tough team. A lot of wins, but they'll get the job done, I think. Even they might give a money line, but I think they'll easily cover the 10. 22 to 120. We got Sheriff Aaron and Lambeau minus 12. That's pretty much, 12 is a lot of points, but I don't think it really matters. They got that, I believe, 33 to 130 on that one. We got Kansas City minus 9.5. Not a pick I'm super confident with. I don't like picking Kansas City against the spread or cover a spread usually, but they've been doing really well last 3 weeks. I think they're starting to figure it out. Then we have the football team plus 175. That's just kind of a game that I think it could go either way. The Cowboys aren't super consistent with what they do, and football team has been really well. Taylor Heineke, good player, tough guy, and they got a tough team with Antonio Gibson as well, so I think they could easily win this game. Plus 175. We have our prop, Trae Young under 41.5 points, rebounds, assists. Giannis under 43.5 points, rebounds, assists. Parlay together plus 230. And then lock of the week, the All-American game, Army-Navy under 36.5. I feel better about this lock than I did last week, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, but 36.5 isn't a lot, but nobody scores in this game. So feel pretty good.
That's a bold statement after last week, how prolific you covered on the money line, but I don't blame you. Money line is always a little bit scary when you're betting a team. All right, for me, parlay starting off Friday night, Chris Middleton over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Trae Young over 2.5 3-pointers made. All-American game on Saturday. I'm going with the Army Black Knights, minus 7.5 against the Navy Midshipmen, 22 to win 20. Got the under in the Jags and the Titans game of 44, 33 to win 30. Jags don't score any points. Titans are going to get back to the running game. Going to be a quick, short game, and then everyone's going to go home and have some dinner. Nice, easy, short game. I got Aaron Rodgers, like you said, at home, coming off a bye in Lambeau against the worst offense in football, the Bears, and the worst head coach in Matt Nagy. Justin Fields is banged up. He's coming back, but he's got bad ribs. 12 points is nothing for Mr. Aaron Rodgers. 22 to win 20. For my upset of the week, I am taking the Detroit Lions at plus 315, 10 to win 31.5 against the Denver Broncos. Getting on a winning streak with those Lions. Dan Campbell wasn't kidding about biting kneecaps. They're going to start biting kneecaps over there in Detroit, and they play hard every week. And then for my lock of the week, I have the Arizona Cardinals minus 2 at home on Monday Night Football against the Los Angeles Rams, 100 to win 91. All right, so yeah, that's going to do it. Bowl games start next week, Scott. Start next Friday. It's about to be a little tasty. We are.
It's gonna be fun. I think we'll pick. You said we're gonna pick confidence picks against the spread with those. So.
Yeah, we'll break it. We'll break it down next week what we're gonna do. But we are going to pick every single bowl game, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna be picking them week to week. So we got the whole week slate. We'll have the most current lines we could possibly have. You don't want to get ahead of ourselves because ESPN does a thing, and last second guys drop out of especially the later bowl games, guys drop out. We don't want to be totally misbalanced over here. I wagered everything on a team, and the entire offense decided we're not playing. So it should be a lot of fun for everybody though, and I know you're happy about it, getting back to college picking.
It's gonna be a tough week for me. We'll see what happens, but I feel decent, but you
got a healthy lead.
NFL's not my thing. So.
Well, we need to expand our horizons, Scott. There's too much money out there to be made for people. It's too much.
College football or die. That's all for me.
No March Madness. We got March Madness bets.
March Madness will be fun too.
Yes, everything's fun. It's all fun. Okay, it's great. Futures bets. We got to get on some futures over here. MLB awards. There's your big time futures bets right there. So yeah, that's gonna do it for us this week. Remember, like the video, share. If you're listening on Spotify or Podbean, we're on YouTube. After the review on YouTube, see our beautiful faces. We add a little edits there so you get the video footage, as well as daily videos. I'm doing daily news videos on the channel. So yeah, check that stuff out, and we'll see y'all next Friday.